Hey guys, welcome back to Pristine's Reads. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Golden Braid by Melanie Dickerson. This is book number 6 in the Hagenheim series. Again, I'm afraid I cannot review this series in order right now, as book number 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 are being shipped to my house still. And they won't be here till May. I don't know if I can wait that long, but I have to. Anyways, let's get to it. I'm wasting time. This is the no spoiler review. To see my full in-depth detailed review, please see my super spoiler review. So let's get started. So first I'm going to give you the summary and the overall description of the plotline. So The Golden Braid is a retelling of the Rapunzel fairy tale. Our main character's name is Rapunzel Scheinberg, a 19-year-old girl who loves to sing, paint, and can throw a knife better than any person she's ever met. The one thing she desires to learn, however, is to read, as in the villages where she lives, she cannot find anybody who will teach her how to read. She also lives alone with her mother, Gothel, and Gothel forbids her to ask for reading lessons or help of any sort. Gothel is overly protective of Rapunzel and tells her all men are not to be trusted, but with Rapunzel's natural beauty in each village where they live, there's always somebody asking Rapunzel for her hand in marriage. And once Gothel receives news of that, she ups and moves Rapunzel from this village to another village. This time, however, Gothel decides to move them to Hagenheim, a great city where Gothel thinks she can make a name for herself as a midwife. On the way to Hagenheim, they get attacked by 2 robbers and are rescued by a knight, Sir Jarek, who happens to be passing by them on the road. Sir Jarek kills one of them, but the other escapes in the process, and Sir Jarek is badly wounded, breaking his arm and his leg. He is able to escort Rapunzel and Gothel to Hagenheim, though, where he works for Duke Gerstenberg at the Hagenheim castle. He makes sure they are all settled in and then leaves, as he expects to be able to take care of themselves. As soon as they get settled in the city, Rapunzel sneaks away to a monastery and asks for reading lessons from a monk. However, the monk cannot teach her, as he has sworn a vow of chastity, and he turns the teaching over to Sir Jarek, who, surprise, is staying at the monastery to recover from his injuries, as he cannot go anywhere right now. Slowly but surely, Rapunzel is learning how to read, first using the Bible. Sir Jarek teaches her the alphabet, and then slowly they both advance Rapunzel on her journey of learning how to read. During their lessons, Rapunzel and Jarek have many discussions about what they are reading, and they slowly form a friendship. But anything more is quickly squashed, as Rapunzel learns that Sir Jarek will only marry a wealthy heiress, as he has no lands or titles of his own and wants to marry into a wealthy family, and Rapunzel is just a poor servant. Meanwhile, the robber Balthazar that escaped has found Rapunzel and attacks her one day while she is going to the monastery. Sir Jarek finds her just in time and sends Balthazar packing. Rapunzel escapes unscathed, and as Sir Jarek brings Rapunzel home, they find Gothel waiting for them. Gothel is furious at Rapunzel for deceiving her and sneaking off to the monastery for reading lessons, while Gothel has been thinking that while she is attending to her clients in the village, Rapunzel has been singing and painting at home, while the reality is that Rapunzel has disobeyed her and has gone off to read. Gothel decides to leave Hagenheim, but late that night Rapunzel decides she can't leave with her mother this time, as Hagenheim is the only place where she thinks she'll be able to make a name for herself and succeed at life. She decides to apply for a job at the castle as a maidservant, as Sir Jarek has recommended her, and Rapunzel gets accepted. While working there, she finds out from the head of the servants, spoiler alert, she finds out from the head of the servants that Rapunzel bears a crescent-shaped scar on her hand, and that scar is identical to the same scar that the Duchess's daughter, Elizabeth, had when she was a toddler. Now, the Duchess's daughter, Elizabeth, was said to have been drowned at a very young age, and was never heard from again. but the mistress of the servants thinks that Rapunzel is Elizabeth and is certain of it. Rapunzel decides to keep it a secret from everybody that she knows until the duchesses and dukes, important guests, have left the castle. While she waits, the guests, a Lord Claybrook and his company of knights, seize the opportunity to take over the castle when the Duke and his eldest son and a company of their knights leave the castle to investigate rumors of a band of robbers up north. Gothel then finds Rapunzel, steals her away, and drugs her, taking her away from the Hagenheim castle and to a place unknown to her. As Lord Claybrook's knights are slowly decimating the Duke's knights, Sir Jarek is one of the only ones left. But he will have to choose between his duty to the Duke and his growing feelings for Rapunzel. Will she be rescued from Gothel, or will Sir Jarek never see her again? You'll have to find out. So, onto the morals. First up is Christian beliefs / other worldviews. I love that Rapunzel and Garrick started their friendship based on their readings and discussion of the Bible and their common faith. And I liked reading the parts where they discussed the scriptures, as I think there was a lot of good lessons to be learned from there. I did not find any other prominent worldviews displayed here. Rapunzel was disobedient at times, yes, sneaking away from Gothel to go take reading lessons, although she was addressed and reprimanded. Next up is violence. There's not a whole lot of detail about violence here. Rapunzel is skilled at knife throwing, but only uses her skill when she has to defend herself. There's also a brief description of one of Lord Claybrook's knights beating up one of the Duke's knights, but not too much detail is poured into that again. And as for romance, this series, again, continues to remain clean, so it's great for teens or adults who are looking for a clean romance to read. Like, for example, I like reading romance. It's not my favorite genre to read, but I like reading it. And so this series has been really good in terms of finding a clean romance. Rapunzel and Garrick kiss only once, which I find was an all-time low of romance for the series so far. And for people like me who read a lot of mysteries, I knew right away who Rapunzel was as soon as I read the book. I mean, sorry, not the book, the back of the book. I totally knew it. As for drugs, Gothel drugs Rapunzel while bringing her away from the castle, but there is not too much detail in that. As for alcohol, there is mention of Lord Claybrook's knights and Lord Claybrook, along with the royal family, drinking some wine at a feast, but it was only a brief passing mention. Sir Garrick also offers Rapunzel a cup of spiced wine after she gets attacked by the robber, thinking that it'll help soothe her, but Rapunzel tries it, doesn't like it, and doesn't finish it at all. As for my rating recommended age level, I'm gonna say 5 stars. This book is, I think, the best one I've read so far, although I'll probably change my mind as I go through the series. It had just the right amount of action, suspense, and romance. I finished this off in 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I can't wait until the last book in the series, The Peasant's Dream, comes out in July. I'm going to say 12 to 13 age level this time, as I think the lower romance level makes it a bit more suitable for a slightly younger audience. But again, parents, please use discretion based on your child's maturity and understanding. Again, you can read this as a standalone series. So again, I have links to this book in the description below. Please check, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye!